Main heading is Relational Database Management System. Under that, we need to learn, so what is a relational database? Actually, a relational database is a collection of related tables or relations. Collection of related tables or relations. Then what is table or relation? So table or relation, you can see this is a table, right? So in this relational database, in this diagram, you can see there are a lot of tables: student table, subject table, marks table, attendance table, classes table. Likewise, there are different tables. These tables are related to each other. Those tables are connected to each other using relationships. So we call them relations. The tables are called relations. Relation is a collection of interrelated record. A collection of interrelated records. We call that a relation. A record means a collection of interrelated fields. A collection of interrelated fields is called a record. Right? Okay, here I'm highlighting this one: Dasun, mail, Candy, and the telephone number. You can see it's collection of related records, related fields. Right? These fields, collection of these fields, we call a record. A collection of interrelated fields and the values for those fields. So name field value is the Sidmi, gender field value is female, city field value Badulla, and TP is value this one. So all together, so we call this part a relation, sorry, a record. Actually, these are fields. Fields, name field, gender field, city field, right? City field and TP field. These are fields. Fields are having interrelated data items, and this data item or data item is a fact about something, someone, or some concept. A fact about something, someone, or some concept. So that is the data item. Field name, Dasun, is a data item. Okay, you should know these basic terminologies. I think you better write down this quickly in your book. So what is relational database? What is relation? What is record? What is field? What is data? And what are the tables or the relations? Kindly write down this quickly. Right, let's start the next thing. Now we learn about relational database. What is relational database? And actually, this is big picture. In relational database, these blue color things are called relations or the tables. These tables are connected. So these connected links are called relationships. Tables are connected using relationships. Please take a snapshot. Later you can write down this. Take a snapshot of the picture. So this is what relational database is actually. Right, okay. So in a relational database, so in managing relational database, the most useful language, one of the most useful languages is SQL, Structured Query Language. Is a useful language. It's a fourth generation language. It's a first generation language which is used in managing relational databases. It supports the following functions. Right, it supports the following functions. What are the functions? So it supports data definition. Data definition means defining tables, databases, structures. Basically defining databases, tables, and any structural changes. It can database physically karna changes. Physically, idea of physical changes here is basically the structural changes. Change in tables, change in column names, add in columns, removing columns, add in fields. So whatever the structural, not related to data in the table, but the structure is basically a table. No, there are relationships, table, databases. Whatever the changes you do to that coming under DDL, data definition. Okay, then DML, data manipulation. So here we have something called CRUD operations. CRUD means create, insert, insert, C means create or insert. Then R means retrieve or select, take the data. And U means update, change the data. Then D means delete, removing data. So inserting data, selecting data or retrieving data, then updating data or changing data, or deleting or removing records or data. So whatever you do to the data coming under DML. So data වලට කරන දේවල් තමයි DML කියලා කියන්නේ. Under that there's another sub section. So you have something called data query language, DQL. Actually that is only used for retrieving, obtaining data from these tables and relations and these databases, combination of these relations, whatever. So to take data out, we use DQL, which is under DML. Then DCL is another subdiscipline that is not there in your syllabus. In your syllabus, you have only DDL commands and DML commands. DML commands. So what are the DML commands? Select DDL command. What is not a DDL command? Likewise, they can ask questions. Okay, DDL means definition related, or the table creating. So I can use some examples. Okay, let's write some examples. Here actually, create table, create database, drop table or erasing table, and databases. Then alter table. So those are coming under this DDL commands. And under DML, so basically, so the examples for DML, you can say select, delete, update, select, delete, update, insert. So these are the direct queries that you can write for DML. Then DCL, data control language, which is not available in your syllabus, but it deals with controlling permissions, security, user count, privileges, what users can log, which users can log, which users can do things. Likewise, the privileges related things, controlling data coming under DCL. Then TCL, transaction control language, or TCL. So basically that is to control the transaction, commit, rollback, and concurrency control. So these are, so basically transactions means how we deal with data, how we work with data coming under TCL. Okay, these are the four formats. These are the four things available in these SQL statement. Right now, you can write down that as well. Please write down this quickly in your note. So language that we are using is SQL, structured query language, and there are four sub parts of SQL, and write down there. Right, we learned about what is relational database. So relational database is basically a collection of relations. Then we discuss what is a relation. Relation is a connection of tables. Then we discuss record. Right, again, relation can tables. It's a table database, collection of related tables. Table is a collection of rows, records. Record is a collection of fields. So what is field? Field is a collection of data items. Related data items, field. So we learn about that. And then we learn about the language which is used to handle the database. That is fourth generation. Actually, Python coming under third generation, whereas SQL coming under fourth generation, because it is more like human friendly, English like language. And it has four formats: DDL, DML, DCL, TCL. We learn about those four categories. You can just take a snapshot if you couldn't write down. And I'll move to the next one. Okay, DDL, DML, DCL, TCL. These are the subtypes of SQL, structured query language. Actually, related to the structural changes, you have DDL. Related to data changes, you have DML. මේ දෙක තමයි අහන්නේ exam එකේ. Structural changes කරනවා නම් DDL, data changes කරනවා නම් DML. Okay, let's learn what are the structural changes and what are the data changes. First of all, we need to know how to install MySQL. Actually, there are a few methods, right? So one thing is you can download free and open source MySQL community version. When you go to Google, MySQL community edition. So that is free and open source. You can just download that from this website, right? MySQL free and open source. This is the community edition, and you can download that. That is free, right? It is open source, and it is world's most popular open source database. You can see world's most popular open source database, and you can download and install MySQL from this website, right? You can download and install here MySQL installer for Windows. That's what you need to download, right? MySQL installer for Windows. Actually, it's working with different technologies. If you want to connect MySQL with Python, you have to download Python connector. If you want to connect MySQL with C++, you have to download C++. .NET, then this one. Node.js, this connector. Then ODBC, Open Database Connectivity, this one. And with PHP, so this one. Likewise, different platforms are supporting MySQL. The programming languages, MySQL. Why? Because the programming languages need to store data. So they use MySQL for storing data. They are using MySQL DBMS, Database Management System. So you can download this version, right? MySQL installer for Windows. That is one method. And the second method, as I suggested, no need to write down this. The second method is install Xampp or WAMP or MAMP or LAMP. What is that? X means any operating system, Apache web server, MySQL database management system with SQL, and PHP server-side scripting language. This is a bundled software. Then අර විදියට ගන්නේ නැතුව ඕන මෙහෙමත් පුළුවන්. ඒ ඔක්කොම අපිට ඕන වෙනවනේ. එහෙනම් Xampp කියලා ඔය සෙට් එකම ගන්න පුළුවන්. Xampp. ඕ Windows වලට තියෙනවා WAMP කියලා එකක්. WAMP for Windows. Windows Apache MySQL PHP. Windows Apache MySQL here MySQL PHP. Windows operating system Apache MySQL PHP support. And if you are using Linux, you have LAMP. Linux Apache LAMP server, right? You have to search like LAMP server, otherwise LAMP server. So then that is Linux Apache MySQL PHP. Here Linux Apache MySQL PHP. And there's another one for Mac OS that is called MAMP. Mac OS Apache MySQL PHP. You can download either version. එතකොට MAMP ඔයාලට download කරන්න බෑ. In Mac OS I can download MAMP. In Linux OS you can download LAMP. In Windows OS you can download WAMP. In any OS ඕනම එකකට support කරනවා Xampp. එහෙමත් download කරන්න පුළුවන්. Both are okay. Actually I have download MAMP. මම download කරේ MAMP. So this is MAMP and let me run. When I start my server, you can see the database server, everything here, right? This is how it's running, and I can start I can start the service. So this is how I should start after downloading. After downloading, I have to install that. Then it will start running in my computer. Or you can download Xampp in your computer and start running that. Okay, this is how when it is running. And there's here you can see MySQL. I can click on that and you can see the MySQL location, right? And you can see how to write code to connect that and everything that we learned, right? Say that code tutorials, everything will come. And I can go to this PHP MyAdmin. I can click on that and go to the MySQL database management system. Actually, this is GUI, graphical user interface. And here you can see the database. I can see DB user database, information schema database, MySQL database, and performance schema database, sys database. And if I want, I can create a new database. So let's create new database. You can click on new and let's say db hello and create. That will create the database. But this is right. This is what creating database is DDL command. Then I can go to the go here, and then I can select the database. After that, I can go to the create table part, and I can give a name. Let's say TBL hello, and I need 4 field. Go, and then I can give like TID some name, right? TID first name. Let's say last name, email. Then I have to give the data types: variable character, variable character, variable character. And I have to give the length of variable character, let's say 20, 30, 40. So those are the lengths: 20, 30 characters long, 40 characters long. And I'll explain what are they, right? Then int, I'm giving this as index primary key and also auto increment feature. Let's see, size of this, let's say 5 characters. Here I'm giving 5 characters, auto increment. Then save it. What is that? Index. So let's enter that later. Incorrect. There can be only one auto column. Save it. Okay, here my database is, my table is created, and you can see the table. Then I can select this and set as the primary key. You can see it's set as the primary key now. So this is GUI, but in your exam they won't ask this, right? But they will ask these things. These are queries here. We are going to learn about these queries: alter table, TBL hello, add primary key. They will ask about these queries in the examination paper, but they will not ask how to do this in graphical user interface. GUI එක මේක ලේසි. හැබැයි එහෙම කරන එකක් ගැන නෙවෙයි අහන්නේ. මේ queries, SQL queries ගැන තමයි වගේ අහන්නේ. Okay, let's say I want to delete this table. So I have to go here, then go to the SQL and write drop table, drop TBL hello, semicolon. When I click go, you can see drop table, so drop table, then this one. When I drop that, it's asking, are you sure you want to execute? Yes, I want to drop the table TBL hello, and you can see it will be erased. Now I don't have any tables, no tables in the database, it's erased. They will ask about this drop command, how to delete a table, right? So those things they will ask. Okay, so I think Senali, I think you have created your database last day. Can you just share your screen, Puti? Senali, can you share your
So you haven't given the permission.
screen, please? You have installed this slide last day? Okay. Then you can see here, actually, Situm, you know how to do this. You can also do in this way. So Xampp, you can here after installing Xampp, it's prompting this. You have to start the Xampp services, right? You can see Xampp here, the service. Can you stop this for a while? Stop both services and just close this. Close this window. Okay, I'll show how to run. I'll show how to run MySQL first. Please close this. Okay, so this is the default situation. Let's say you have installed Xampp in your computer. Default situation, you don't have run any services not running, and you can just go to your command prompt, Windows key and R key together. Windows key, R key together. Then you can type CMD there and press enter. CMD and press enter, then you can see this one. Then you can go to your Xampp folder. That can be done by typing cd backslash, cd space backslash. No, space, no, that is forward slash. cd space backslash. Space එකක් තියන්න. cd space backslash. That is forward slash. The other one. Backspace එකට යටින් backslash. Backspace key එකට යටින් තියෙන backslash. සමාන ලකුණ නෙවෙයි අර කොටු අරහන් තියෙන. මේ අතට තියෙන අලයිර බලන්න තියෙනවද කියලා. නෑ backspace key එක තියෙනවනේ සමාන ලකුණ එහෙම තියෙන මේ පැත්තේ තියෙන. Keyboard එකේ. ඔය තියෙන right. Okay. Then press enter. Okay, now it's going to the C. Now please go to the CD Xampp folder Xampp. Enter. Then you can go put dir and press enter to see, okay, what are the directories inside. Okay, in that you can go to your MySQL folder, cd space MySQL, enter, and that will go to the MySQL folder. There you can go to the bin folder, cd bin folder, that is the binaries, press enter, and you are in the binary folder. Now you can run the command. You have to type MySQL -u user is root, that is the default administrator username, and -p for the password, and just press enter without typing any password, and press enter again to confirm. That simple, that is password is blank, right? You can see when you run this, you will get an error. Can't connect to MySQL server on localhost. The reason, if you are getting such error, the main reason is your service not started. Now please go to the Xampp again, Xampp control, and from there you can start the MySQL and both services. It's okay. Open both services, Apache and MySQL, and retype that command. Recall the command by pressing up arrow. Up arrow එකෙන් පුළුවන් call කරන්න අපු ඒ command එක. You can recall the command by using up arrow. Up arrow. උඩට තියෙන arrow එක තියෙන up arrow. Okay, press enter. No, down arrow again. Down arrow. Down arrow again. Down arrow. All right. Okay, now press enter. This is the command, and you can see press enter. Now you are logging into the MySQL. Actually, you have to start the service. So remember the steps. You have to start the service. After starting the service, you have to type this command. You can write down this command in your book. Please write down this command in your book. It's very important. You have to navigate to this folder, Xampp MySQL bin. That is the installation folder. And then type MySQL -u root space -p, then empty password to log in. Empty means no password. Just press enter, and you will be given the MySQL prompt. This is how you navigate to the MySQL window. Okay, clear on this? Are you clear how to do that? Okay, I hope so, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay, one important thing again. So like now you are in MySQL directory. No? So there's another way to go to this place, Pute. Can you close this? Just close this. You have to manually go to the Explorer. Here, please go to the Explorer manually. There, please navigate to the C drive, this PC, and there, please go to the C drive. In the C drive, you can see Xampp folder. In the Xampp folder, you can see MySQL folder. Yes, that one. There you can see bin folder. Okay, now just type cmd here. Click on that and type cmd, and press enter. That will give you path automatically. CD that will give you the path automatically. Understood? You can C again backslash you can manually go to the folder or manually go to the directory, right? Then, so that is also a valid way. Then what you have to do? Then you have to type the same command. MySQL, can you remember the command? Type it. MySQL space -u. You have to write down the command, right? Yeah, then go ahead. -u space user name root space -p space, right? Root plus space root space -p. Then enter and enter again. Okay, now again you are in MySQL prompt. Okay, how to see the databases here? The first command that we are going to use, if you want to see the databases, you can see show databases. Show databases. That's a command that you are using to see the databases. Write down the command in the book itself. Show databases, semicolon. Should be ended with a semicolon, not colon, semicolon. Press enter and it will list all the databases in your DBMS. So the next command, if you want to create a database, that is DDL command, right? DDL, under DDL, creating database. That you can do by typing create database, then let's say DB school, without any spaces, right? Don't put any spaces in this database name, right? Create database, DB school, database, create database, space, then DB school. DB school के लिए type करा थी, space type करने पाए. Don't type any space. DB space school नहीं है, DB school. Okay, that is correct. Now semicolon, and that will create new database. How to see that whether the database is created or not? Again, show databases, right? Again, you have to go to the show databases. Situm, I think you are doing. I didn't ask you to share because show databases. Show databases. You have to type the correct command. Okay, then semicolon, right? So that will create, that will show you the databases. Okay, show databases. Now you can see DB school is there, means your database is created here. DB school is there, means your database is created. Now two commands. Show databases will show all the databases. Create database will create the database. Okay, let's see how to go inside that database. You have to use command. That's easy. Use DB school, the name of your database. Use DB school, name of your database, semicolon, press enter, and you are inside database changed. Now you can see earlier it was none. Here, earlier it was none. Now it is DB school. Earlier it was none. Now it is DB school, means you are inside the DB school database. Okay, the challenge comes now. How to create tables. We have created databases. We went inside. Now we are inside the database. And we access that. How to create tables. Similar to the database, you can create tables, but you have to give the table definition. That is where you have to be careful. Create table within bracket the table definition. Okay, for an example, create table name. So table name, let's say TBL student is the table name. Then the bracket. Then you have to write STID, student ID, let's say integer, and size of that 4. Let's say it's a primary key. And let's say you want to automatically increment it. auto underscore increment stid primary key auto increment. Then the next one, first name variable character va ch va cha. So wait, I'll write that. I'll write that. After that you can do first name vacha 30. Let's say it's not null. Now the previous one also this int stid, it is primary key auto not null. Okay, not null primary key auto increment. Not null means not empty. Not null primary key auto increment. Vacha 30 not null. Last name variable character 40 and it's also not empty. You can say not null. And let's say email. Let's say vacha 30. Okay, that's enough. Close the bracket and semicolon. So you have to give the definition, entire definition. I think you can see in the screen. Create here. Now you can type it. Create table. Then the table name TBL. So here you cannot commit any errors because if you have done any mistake, you can't delete it. You have to put a semicolon and generate an error and forcefully terminate the statement. Okay, you can start. Press enter, go to next line. That doesn't matter. You can write in same line also. Command. Okay. Type this now. Type this now quickly. I'll correct if you commit any error, right? Do this quickly. අන්න එර එකක් කමා එක වෙනුවට ඔයා දැම්මේ පුතේ මොකද්ද සිංගල් කොටේෂන් එක හරි කමන්න ලියාගෙන යන්නකෝ ලියන් යන්න කමා එක දාන්න ඕනේ සිංගල් කොටේෂන් එක දැන් උඩට ගිහලා හදන්න බෑ that's what I said anyway okay finish this quickly and you can understand that okay press enter and see then you will understand here it's not terminating so the reason is that semicolon sorry the single quotation a single quotation එක ආයෙ දාන්න put that single quotation again මේ මෙතන දාපු එක ඔයා what did you put here can you put that again here also මෙතනත් ඒ single quotation එක දාන්න බලන්න now semicolon enter okay it's terminating with an error so that this is the nature right මේ තමා SQL වල හැටි හරිද අනිත් ඒවා වගේ නෙමෙයි මේ දැන් command line එකනේ අපි ලියන්නේ. එතකොට මෙහෙම තමයි වෙන්නේ. Even for single mistake, you have to retype the query again. Now up arrow. Up arrow එක ගන්න කීප සැරයක් 1 2 3 times maybe 4 5 6 7 another time. Okay, enter. Oh නෑ. තව පාරක් අනිත් පැත්තට down arrow. Enter. Up arrow. Down arrow. Right. ඔය single quotation එක මකන්න. That's the error. Comma. Enter. Down arrow. Down arrow. Down arrow එක වැඩ කරන්නේ නැද්ද? Up arrow බලන්න. Down arrow now. Again up arrow. Again up arrow. Again. 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 Okay, correct. Enter. Again up arrow. Up arrow. Up arrow. No, down arrow now. No, it's up, not up arrow. Down arrow. Yeah, up down වලින් දැන් අර පරණ commands ටික ගන්න පුළුවන්. Down arrow එකේ. Down down. Last name එනකන් down කරන්න. Okay, enter. Then the email. Email උත් ඒ වගේ ගන්න up and down arrows. No, down arrow I guess. Okay. Then the close the bracket. Bracket එක වහලා semicolon and semicolon. Okay, now that single mistake is removed. Enter, and now we can create the table. Now you can see query okay, 0 rows affected. That's what. Okay, this is good. Why? Even with a single error, you have to retype the command. තනි error එකක් තිබ්බත් ඔච්චර තමයි. හරි, තනි error එකක් දැන් විභාගෙත් උම තමයි. තනි error එකක්වත් තියෙන්න බෑනේ. ආයෙ ලියන්න වෙනවා විභාගය. ඒ වගේ තමයි. මේකේ even a single error, you can't edit that. You can edit that. මේක නේ අපිට text document එකක් විදිහට ලියුවොත් පුළුවන්. Text document එකක් විදිහට ලියලා run කරන්න පුළුවන්, right? So we are doing this in a hard method. Actually we can edit by going to our GUI tool එකේ කරත් මම අර පෙන්නේ PHP MyAdmin. Even though you go to PHP MyAdmin, or if you do this in Notepad, yes, you can correct it, but here in the command prompt you can't edit. So that's the nature, right? So be careful. Okay, now we have created the table. How to check that? Show tables. Just type show space tables semicolon. Then you can see the table which you have created here, TBL student. If you want to see the description of this, then you have to type desk, DESK, SC, desk, DESC, DESC, desk, describe can, DESC. Then space the table name semicolon. No. TBL student. TBL student name. Your table's name. TBL. Oh. See here. This is your table name, Pute. This is your table name. Just type that table name. TBL student. That is the table that you have created. Okay, let's write down this as a note now. Semicolon. And then you can see the entire table. Okay, what we learned today during this lesson is DDL, data definition language. Now we know how to create a database, how to create a table, and how to add the primary key to that table. Let's learn what is primary key next day. What is primary key? Maybe today, auto increment. Likewise, we know how to add these features, how to create the table, how to describe the table, everything. Okay, I think it's the time to write down this in the notebook. Whatever you said and done, I think you have to write down that in your notebook. Now we learn how to execute this. Do you need to write these steps? I'll give this as a note, right? How to run this and all. I'll give this as a note. No need to write down this part because in the exam they won't ask. But the commands, yes, they will ask that. Okay, start writing commands immediately. Start from here. The commands that will be asked in the examination. So please write down this. Once you're done, let me know, then I can scroll down. what you have to do here, you have to do practicing practicals. And what I can do is I can guide you doing this. So purple color ones, these are the SQL commands. Okay, here, so this shows how can we remove field, right? Describing the table, we learned that how to remove a field. So that can be done by dropping the field name. Alter table TBL student, drop gender. Okay, similar to that. If I want to, let's say I want to log in my SQL minus U root minus P. I'm having a problem actually with the socket. Yeah, that's a problem actually. I just right, I can do this with the GUI one, right? So it doesn't matter because I can write SQL here. Okay, let's say let's treat the table according to the, this is the one that I have to use. Create the table. I'm copying this, pasting in GUI here SQL, and that will also be executed. Only thing is I have to remove these lines because that is not coming. I have to write all these things as a text, right? Let me zoom this and you can see it clearly. Same query, create table TBL student and all these things as I have given, then go and it will create the table. And when you go to the structure, you can see it here, the structure of the table here. Actually, let's go to the table structure and you can see it's STID, IDentify, and all these things, and auto increment feature, and also the primary key is listed there, and that's it, right? That's the structure. And let's say I want to remove the gender, then I have to go to my SQL and alter the table, ALT alter table, and the table name is DBL students. Then drop. I have to drop what? Drop. So it's a practice, writing these things in capital. It's a practice, right? So, but even you write it in simple, it will work. Alter table TBL student, drop gender. So actually, you don't have gender in your table. As I remember, you can drop maybe email. Actually, I have added gender here. That's why I'm dropping it. And when I drop this, you can see, are you sure you'll drop? And then if I go to the structure, you can see gender is not there, only the STID, first name, last name, address. And similar to that, I can add in alter table TBL students, add gender. Then I have to describe this with the particular thing, gender, let's say Vacha. Let's say what Vacha 10. Add a gender Vacha 10, not now. I can describe that and then go it, and then you can see alter table TBL student, add gender Vacha 10, not now. Go to the structure and you can see gender there. Add in and drop in columns, important. Add in and drop in columns, it's very important. So you can drop if you have any, and you can add it also, right? First, let's add it and then drop it, right? So let's write add in a column. Actually, you have written this one, right? So then, yes, drop in a column, deleting an existing column. How to do that? Deleting existing column. Existing column. So what is existing column? Deleting existing column. So that can be done by actually dropping the column. Just drop the column. Alter table TBL student, drop gender. Then describe the table again, and you can see it's missing. Right? Then how to add it? Adding it back. Add in a column. So please write both. Drop in and add in a column. Just put in it in red color, bold, underline, bold, increase the size and line. Add in and drop in. Please write down this. Add in a column and drop in a column, delete in a column. So both are DDL, data definition language. Both are belongs to DDL instructions. Add in, drop in columns. And then I'm going to do a DML instruction. After this, I'll do a DML. Okay, do this quickly. Write down and do this quickly. Please write down in the book and also do this in your SQL. Right. How the change in a column, how it happens. So alter table can add and drop, so that is okay. But changing means without deleting, you can change the existing. Without deleting something, you can change. Then actually to do that, then you have to write the old column name, which is address, and the new column name that you're going to change and their definition. Okay, let's say I want to change gender. So my gender is basically, you can see Vacha 10. I just want to change it like this to Char 1. So then actually I have to write SQL alter table TBL, the table name, then change, then the gender, column name, then again the new name that you're going to give, and then I just want to change that to char character 1 character, okay, and also not none. I can add these properties and click go, and you can see it's changing. When you go to the structure, here it's changed to char 1 now. This can be done in GUI, CLI both, but you need the command how to change this. Right here, the example is given, and after that the description. Actually, no need to write this again, because you know after describing the table, you know the preview is anyway according to the new one. Okay. Now we have done a lot of DDL commands, right? A lot of DDL commands, and here another DDL command, change address to the new name. Actually, this is the existing name, same name, but here change the address to new home address, a new one. Even you can give a new name too. Right. So then insert in data. So that is, now we have discussed about the DDL, and the last command I would like to show today is a Dml command, because we learned a lot of DDL. Let's learn DML. Right, no need to write down this. I'll demonstrate. You can take a screenshot of that. Here you can see when I browse, nothing is there, table is empty. Select all from TBL students. That's how you browse. Select all from TBL student, then it will list the table as empty set, nothing, because you don't have data. So if I want to insert into table, I have to go to the SQL and tell that insert into the table name TBL students. One way of inserting is you can see the column order, straight STID, first name, last name, gender, address and gender. That you can give according to the order that it is there. That means insert into table student values, and then you can give the values. STID, let's say 1, and first name is, let's say, Dasun, and then inside the quotation, because strings now, STID is INT, you can give as number. Last name is Nilanjana, then comma, address, let's say number 10, or number 10, main road, wall, something like this, and then the gender, it's only 1 character, let's say male, yeah, and semicolon to finish, and that will insert the value. You can see, you can take a screenshot later, you can try. That will insert the value. Take a screenshot of this later, you can try and write down in your book. Okay, then let's go to the browse now. When I go to browse, select all from TBL student, select asterisk from TBL student, and you can see one result is there. So that is data manipulation, DML, inserting into database, which is DML. Okay, so now we know examples for DL and example for DML. But we have a lot of SQL queries to learn related to DML. I hope to do that in next week. About the DML commands, let's learn next week. And this is important lesson because again, you can get 15 marks from this lesson also. And we have to learn diagramming part 2. Diagramming also I'll do after the practical part. I'll do the diagramming part, right? Anyway, from this question, you will be getting around 15 marks in your examination. Right now in 2022 class, we have already finished Python. We have already finished HTML. We have already finished that main lessons, 25 marks from Python. Logic gate, Boolean algebra, number system, we have finished. They are again 15 marks, 40 marks altogether. From HTML, you'll get around 20 marks, 15, let's say 15. Then it's 55 marks. And actually we have done fundamentals operating systems. From that, you'll be getting 5 to 10 marks. So 60, 65 marks are there. Then we have done, actually after doing this, again, another 15 marks. So you will be closer to, then you will be closer to 80 marks. And one main lesson remaining, that is basically the, that also I have done in the beginning, but actually if you miss that, I'll do the networking lesson. That I'll do together with 23 class, right? After finishing this, I'll into small topics like IoT, the minor topics which we skipped, IoT, e-business, systems. I'll discuss them minor topics because we'll be finishing the theory class. Most probably we can finish 22 theory class by this is like after finishing this, we need some time to finish PHP part, PHP MySQL connection, and it will take around 1 month, maybe 1 more month. And then the minor lessons will also take around 1 to 2 months to finish. End of January, we can finish the theory for 2022. Right, end of January, we can finish the theory for 2022, all the lessons done. And if you miss anything, as I said, I'll be doing networking after. Now we are doing Python in 2023 class. It will take some more time to finish Python, like maximum like 4 months to finish that. And after that, I'll be doing networking part again in 2023, because in 2022 I have done it. In 23 I have not done. So I'll do that in 23. If you are interested in learning that again, you can join in 23 class, because your exams are probably in September 2022. So if it is going according to the original schedule, it's September 2022. But if it is not going according to the original schedule, will be postponed to December some other year. So if you want to do the theory, you can join with after finishing that now in February. Basically, we will take time until February to finish theory. After February, you can come to the 23 class if you want to learn theory again. Right, again, if you miss something, you can come to the 23 class and learn theory. Meanwhile, you can come to the paper class for discussing papers. So my goal is actually, my plan is to finish this by February. Then we will be doing 23 and 22 papers, because 21 papers will be over by February again, and 22 papers and the 23rd theory, those are the 2 classes that I'm planning after February. Okay, I think, hope it is clear. If not, please talk to me. I'll explain how it is going on. Then good night. See you all next week.
Good night, sir. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night.